Hey guys, what's up? Megadan29, and I just wanted to do this video as something that is going to be completely random here. I did not put a ton of thought into this, and I got this idea from Reminiscence, and he did an awesome video, very similar to this one, where he used Tier Maker, and he ranked consoles. Now, he added handhelds and stuff like that. And I am not going to do that because, well, quite frankly, I'm just really not super into handhelds. Because I'm going to count them as like if I was playing them like as a handheld. So I don't want to count like games and, oh, I can play a Game Boy on a Super Game Boy and I can do all this stuff. Because that just changes everything, you know, so I don't really want to do that. I want to just save for the console for what it is. And also, there's a lot of consoles on here that I am not super familiar with. So I am not going to talk about something that I'm not very familiar with, like the Atari 2600 and stuff like that. Like, I just have not dipped into those consoles yet to where I feel have any kind of educated opinion on it. You know, it's just kind of stupid. Same with like the Jaguar and stuff like that. Very, very, very pointless. So there's going to be a little bit of jumping around here, and I'll look as I go through this. I found a template that I feel like is good enough for me, and I can try my best to rank them here. Obviously, we're doing all the way from up to S, which is damn near perfect, or my favorite, down to an F, which is terrible. And yeah, let's just try this out. And this is not to be taken. I have not put a ton of thought into this. I just thought it'd be fun for me just to do it completely whatever. And then maybe we have talks about things. Maybe you guys open my eyes to things. Maybe I rethink things and I come back to this. And I do a part 2 sometime. You know, we'll see. But I would love it if you guys did this as well, because I thought Retro Reminiscence had a really cool idea here. And this was just really fun to sit here and conversate and talk about. So let's begin here. So, not going to mess with any of these. I'm going to go actually all the way over to the Nintendo GameCube. Oh man, what am I going to do with the GameCube here? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't really go back to the GameCube too often nowadays. I did play it a decent amount back in the day, though. The things that come into mind are I love Super Mario Baseball. I love Super Mario Sluggers. Or, I'm sorry, not Sluggers. The soccer one. I forget the name of it exactly. Sorry, it's late. I played Wario World. That was an awesome game. I played WarioWare. That was one of the games me and my wife played. It was one of the first games we played together. And we had a lot of fun with that. Super Mario Sunshine was dope. Luigi's Mansion was dope. There was some decent stuff on the GameCube. I thought the controller was amazing. The controller is very, very good, so hardcore props to that. Another thing about the console that I'm going to take into consideration with everything on this list is I am going to take into consideration that how well the system worked. That definitely matters, right? So the GameCube never had any issues. It was always great for me. Now, with that being said, it didn't have a ridiculous amount of hours put into it. I played Wind Waker on it. That was another game that was really cool. That was actually a system that got me into Zelda a little bit. Was playing the Zelda collection, which came with like Ocarina of Time and other games like that. Oh, excuse me, it's late. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put GameCube. I'm gonna put a GameCube at a B. I'm gonna put a GameCube at a B just because there was a decent amount of games for it. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but I give hardcore props to the controller. I give hardcore props to all those games I named were pretty exclusive. Oh, dude, Mario Kart Double Dash. Didn't even remember that one. We played the hell out of that. There was some decent stuff for it. I think it was a solid system. It wasn't that bad. It got clouded by something, and we'll get to that. But the GameCube did pretty well. I didn't mind it, and obviously you had the 4 hookups right here in front. Oh, dude, I didn't even think about it. Animal Crossing. the first Animal Crossing was on GameCube, and that was the first time I ever played Animal Crossing, and I got super, super into it with a friend of mine, Jacob, if you're watching. Yeah, you showed me Animal Crossing, so yeah, a lot of decent stuff there with the GameCube. Then we're gonna get over here to the N64s next, huh? All right, well, the N64, the controller is very subpar. I can get used to it. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't think it's as bad as people say, but it's also not freaking good. There are people that sit there and say, "Oh, the controller's awesome." I do not agree with that whatsoever. This was definitely a multiplayer console. I did not play a lot of multiplayer when I was a kid. I played, if anything, two-player. That's about as high as it went. I did not have one of those childhoods where 5 or 6 kids came over and we were all trying to play this console and had 4 controllers or whatever. I didn't play GoldenEye a whole lot. Never really interested me. I played a lot more Perfect Dark. I remember I beat that. The thing I got into the most on the system, and they are my favorite to this day, are the wrestling games. WCW Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, WCW World Tour, WWF No Mercy. I mean, those are the best wrestling games to this day, in my opinion. Go back to them all the time. I mean, I was just playing WWF WrestleMania 2000 less than 2 weeks ago. I mean, I'm always going back to it. I will say this, though, and how I feel about the N64, excuse me, is I do feel like outside of that, there's not a whole lot. You know, Ocarina of Time, I've played through it. I loved it. It was cool. I played it once and I was done, though. Mario 64, not a huge fan. Mario Kart 64, not a huge fan. Super Smash Brothers, not a huge fan. Just not really for me. The sports games on N64, not really good. I did not like them very much. I remember we played All-Star Baseball. I tried both the Ken Griffey games. Did not like them. The N64, for me, nowadays, no joke, is pretty much just those wrestling games, and that's like literally it. I hate to say that, but that's like literally all I would turn on for nowadays. I did play the Road Rash on 64, and that was okay. Super goofy game. It was good, though. I had fun with it. I did a playthrough of it on the channel. Not bad. I want to play the Paperboy for it. I have not yet, but it looks absolutely awful. So I do not expect good things from it. So I'm going to have to say the N64 gets a D. It did work well. The system always did work, but that had a lot to do also with I did not put any time into this game. I mean, Diddy Kong Racing, pretty cool. Donkey Kong 64, pretty cool. Not the best games, though. Not for me. N64 is very low. And, you know, N64 does not have a lot of those very good obscure games either. No Animal Crossing on the N64, which sucked. That didn't come till the GameCube. Just no Punch-Out on the N64, which is pretty crazy, right? So that kind of sucks. You'd think with that joystick, Punch-Out would have been really, really cool. But yeah, other than that, I just didn't have much love for the N64, guys. I know that's like a lover, but I'm not too into it. Moving on. Oh, the NES. I mean, come on. We already know that. Bam. Gotta put the NES up in the S tier. It's my favorite of all time. Great controller. Always works if you know how to work it. If you know how to get the games to work. No, you don't need to blow in them. But just a classic console. I mean, we can go into the NES, you know, helping video games out so much as bringing them back into the scene. We can sit there and talk about that. But what I'm mostly going to talk about is just, I mean, everything we're into today, everything, why we have game rooms, why we collect. I mean, it all started here, man. At least it did with my age bracket. I'm 35 years old, and it's amazing. So many obscure games. I know Retro Reminiscence said something that it had a lot of bad games. Sure, it did, man, but it had so many good games. I mean, oh my gosh. I still buy games like Castle of Dragon I popped in the other day for the NES, and something like that can have just this great experience and a game that there's so many years of playing the NES and I still find good games for it. I mean, just never ending. It's like it's never ending. There's just so many good obscure games for it. And then obviously all the classics, dude. I mean, obviously all the three Castlevanias, the three Marios, really you could say four. The 6 Mega Mans, I mean, 3 Ninja Gaidens, I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. And don't sleep on sports games for the NES either. Bad News Baseball, Ice Hockey, Blades of Steel, I mean, just awesome stuff. Baseball Stars, 1 and 2. Just great stuff. World Cup, Kings of the Beach, I mean, oh my gosh, guys, the list goes on. And then you obviously have Commando, Bionic Commando. Dude, so many good games on the NES. If I sat here and think, I could sit here and name games for the next 20 minutes. I mean, Gunsmoke, Jackal. I mean, it just goes on. Double Dragon 1, 2, and 3. I mean, just so many good things about the NES. So much good stuff. Controller's great. Simple, straight to the point. One of the best D-pads you'll ever use, by the way. It's just great stuff, man. It's just great stuff. It worked. So many cool little obscure things when it comes to the NES with Nintendo Power, cryptic games. We just played through Battle of Olympus. That was so much fun. I mean, no doubt, 100% NES is S tier, 100%. Let's move on. The PS1. PS1 got a lot of love when I was growing up. PS1 was a good console. Problems with it working, though. I went through like 3 of them. The disc would stop reading. That was a huge problem. I still remember the little spinny thing in the middle. The little black things would come off of it, and underneath it was like this red ring. And I swear, right when those 3 things ended up chipping off after so many times of putting games in and out and spinning, it would stop working, and it really sucked. It had major problems. Controller was new, and totally new way of playing games and holding a controller, set apart from all the time things before it. Sort of like the N64, definitely changed things. Graphically, you know, it looks ugly nowadays, but I'm going to tell you what, at the time, that was dope. You know what I mean? At the time, PS1 had awesome graphics. People were not complaining about it, and it was amazing, dude. Another one of those mature consoles as well. A lot of older people had PlayStations instead of getting a 64. It was really awesome. It was the first time... Well, no, it wasn't the first time. Sega Genesis, I suppose, was. But I think the first real time that this was like a mature console. I mean, this had a lot of games like Resident Evil and Twisted Metal where you're freaking blowing each other up. It's super dark. There's blood, there's gore, there's things going on. You know, a lot of good stuff on the PS1. Definitely Siphon Filter 1, 2, and 3. The wrestling games were not that bad. I know we look at things like Warzone and WWF Attitude now. I know we look at those like they're bad, but dude, at the time I had a lot of fun with those, to be honest with you. Not as good as the N64 ones, obviously, but definitely good. I'm going to go ahead with the PS1, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it at a B. You know, man, that's really tough because I feel like it's kind of bogus to put it at a B with the GameCube. Because one thing I will say about the GameCube is it never broke and it was not messed up like that. The thing that really sucked about the PlayStation was that it would break and stuff like that. That was a really bad thing. I mean, you really got to knock a console if it's not working. You know, that hurts. That hurts. I'm going to go ahead. Gosh, I don't want to sit there and say a GameCube is better than a PlayStation, though. That is absolute BS. So, no, it's staying at a B. Just because of how many good games it had. It had a lot of good games. The PS1 was filled with badass stuff. And at the time, I mean, you're talking Twisted Metal 1, 2, and 3. There was 3 of those. Really good stuff. At the time, that was amazing. Hey, the Road Rash 3D and regular Road Rash for it. Road Rash 3D was fucking amazing. Dude, SmackDown and SmackDown 2, badass games. First games in the wrestling that you could play a whole season and it never ended. And things happened backstage and everything. It was dope. Super, super sick. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like the GameCube should be lucky that it's sitting in the same spot as the PlayStation, because the PlayStation had way more fucking good games than the GameCube, in my opinion. Like, the PlayStation is full. Dude, Silent Hill, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. Dude, that brought a whole new thing. Dude, Alone in the Dark. All this stuff started on PlayStation, and that's the first time when all those creepy-ass games came into the scene, and they were all on PlayStation. And then you had action games like One, which, by the way, I played it again, and it's not too good, but back then it was dope. Apocalypse with Bruce Willis. Dude, a lot of freaking good games. Dude, not to mention the sports games on PS1. That is the first time when a lot of things went in to the realism of sports games. Really started with PS1 with the triple plays and the Knockout Kings. Game Day, Madden. I mean, that's when you could really start doing some stuff. I would say that's when the audibles really started. Baseball became a lot more realistic on those consoles, and we laugh at that nowadays, but I'm telling you, back then, that was not the case. So we're going to keep it there. And right here we open up with the PS2. We will definitely talk about this. Guys, the PS2, dope as hell. Everything I just said about the PS1 also goes with PS2. I mean, you want to talk about sports games moving on. One of the most mind-blowing times I ever had in video gaming is with PS2 with Madden 2001. That was unbelievable. The day I seen Madden 2001 with Eddie George on the cover, I still remember going to my dad's house, seeing the big blue box, and man, oh man, oh man, when my dad did a kickoff in Madden, we were looking at it like, holy crap. And then he went to go pick his play, and the players were blinking. They were in the huddle. They were adjusting their chin straps. Amazing. I mean, probably the biggest mind-blowing time I've ever had in a video game, where I was fucking like, holy shit. Go look at PS1 sports games like NFL Game Day, and then go look at Madden 2001. Look at the difference, dude. That's like Atari NES difference. That's a huge, huge difference, man. And it was crazy, because even the gameplay was the same way, dude. The jukes looked way more realistic. The tackling, everything. And baseball games, basketball games, all of that. Same thing. Very, very, very more realistic on the PS2. Huge jump, dude. Huge, huge jump. The Fight Night games compared to like Knockout Kings. Go look at the difference. It's amazing. So PS2 is another one also that I continue to find good games for. I mean, dude, look how crazy Grand Theft Auto got on PS2. Look at Grand Theft Auto on PS1, and then look at it on PS2. We built everything Grand Theft Auto is today off Grand Theft Auto 3, dude. Grand Theft Auto 3 started all of that, which I got to go back to PS1 real quick. Dude, Driver 1 and 2. Driver 1 and 2 was fucking amazing on PS1. But on PS2, they came out with Grand Theft Auto and Mafia. Mafia was on there as well. Dude, unfucking believable games, dude. You could argue, too, PS2 was the first time Call of Duty made its way into the scene. Call of Duty Finest Hour. Fucking amazing. Dude, the wrestling games, the SmackDown games, built upon what the PS1 started, and you could continue it in the PS2 version with Universe Mode. You know what? I don't know if Universe Mode was there yet. But there was a lot of season modes where you could continue to go. I mean, it started off with SmackDown Just Bring It, which graphically was way better. But it was a little bit disappointing, but it got better as the years went on, as there was a bunch of them. I mean, it went all the way to like 2008 or something like that on the PS2. It did awesome. So, dude, Burnout, Slugfest, Freedom Fighters, Army Men games, just the Punisher on PS2. X-Men Legends, I mean, so many fucking good games. And I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of those were on other platforms like GameCube, like X-Men Legends. It ran so much better on the PS2, though. You know, and that's what it's all about. And that's going to hit harder later in my list as well. So many things ran on the PS2, and I played everything on the PS2. So we're going to put PS2 at an A, and you're going to say, well, why the hell is it not getting an S? The PS2 broke down a lot, though. The laser went out all the fucking time. I ended up going through like 3 or 4 PS2s. Still to this day, I have to own like 5 PS2s because all of them take a hot, steamy dump. And that is why it's not on the tier with NES, man. It just can't be. Because NES continues to work. It always does. That matters in a system, dude. Matters. But, dude, PS2, awesome fucking console. Awesome. So what do we got next? I'm not going to really talk about PS3 and stuff. Just because I didn't really get into it. I just haven't dipped into it much. And I'll explain why later. We can talk about the Dreamcast. So, and this is the perfect time for the Dreamcast to come along. So, the Dreamcast. A lot of people go crazy over the fucking Dreamcast, dude. And let me tell you, here's something that ruins the Dreamcast for me. I played most of the games that are on Dreamcast. I played on PS2, man. So, and you go, well, why did you do that? Because I'm going to pick the better controller on which system I'm going to play it on. And the PS2 controller takes a hot, steamy dump over the Dreamcast controller, in my opinion. So, the Dreamcast controller isn't terrible, but it's not good either. You know, it was kind of like whatever. So when you look at exclusives for the Dreamcast, there's a ton of fighting games. And I know everybody loves all their Street Fighter games. I know you love all those games. I get it. The Marvel vs. Capcom, I get it. That, what's Power Stone? That's another fighting game everybody talks about. But the thing is, Megadan doesn't give a fuck about fighting games, man. I'm just not into it. I'm not into Street Fighter. I'm not into Mortal Kombat. That's not a system seller for me, dude. I'm not looking at Tekken. I'm not looking at fucking Soul Calibur. If you noticed, I didn't even bring up Soul Calibur when I'm talking about Nintendo. So I'm just not into it. So you can't sell me on that. So when I think Dreamcast, I think, okay, I played Shenmue on there. Shenmue was fucking dope. I think Crazy Taxi, I mean, yeah, that's cool. You know, I'd still rather play something like Driver and things like that. To me, it's way better. Burnout's way better. But you know, it's okay. I've never played that Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio. I've never played those games. I heard they're really good, but to be honest, I see it, and I don't feel the need to run and go play it, which is the reason I haven't played it yet. So really, dudes, the Dreamcast just really has no value to me. I mean, what do I want to do? Go play Seaman? I mean, is that what I want to play? There's just no value it has that I need to go play. That's on only the Dreamcast. And I know that's a super unpopular opinion. And I know these people were trying to sell me on what I need to play on Dreamcast. Like, okay, there's this Sonic game or something. I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, even then, you can probably give me, maybe 5 games that I'll like. I mean, you're looking at other systems here like PS2 that just, I can get into 40 or 50 good games that it has. You know what I mean? So, there's nothing really for the Dreamcast for me. I give it an F, boys. I'm sorry. Because at least with the N64, I can say I love the wrestling games and stuff like that. Somebody recently played a WWF Raw or something like that on the Dreamcast. It was, I think, Lit Gaming 999, and even that was like extremely mediocre. It was just like SmackDown, but shittier. You know what I mean? That's basically what it was. It was not very good. Or, I'm sorry, it was WWF Royal Rumble. And it was just kind of shitty. Yeah. It was an arcade port. You get tired of it after playing for 20 minutes, and you probably never go back to it, right? I mean, that's pretty much what happens. So that's enough about the Dreamcast, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate for that, and that's fine, and explain to me what I need to play then. Now we make our way to the badass Sega Genesis. Now, Sega Genesis is where Sega was badass, dude. Sega Genesis, dope as hell. Controller, it's okay. The 6 buttons, dope as hell. I thought the D-pad's a lot better and stuff. The 3-button controller kind of shitty, to be honest with you. Actually, really shitty, especially if you are into those fighting games. But for me, the Sega Genesis had dope-ass games like Contra Hardcore. I mean, I'm looking over here. True Lies, Splatterhouse, Castlevania Bloodlines was super fucking dope. And, dude, the sports games, really good. One of my favorites ever are Madden 94. That's like one of my favorite football games ever. Very, very, very good game. Triple Play 96, dope as fuck. Definitely a lot of good stuff, dude. Golden Axe 1 and 2. I know technically 3's on there as well. It's just hard to get you to play the European one, the Mega Drive. So, RBI Baseball, dope as hell. Road Rash, I thought was really good. I've kind of lost respect on the Road Rash for Sega. Dude, Shinobi though, Shadow Dancer, amazing fucking games, amazing. So, I'm gonna have to go ahead, and I don't know if Sega Genesis is on. Oof, that's tough. Well, it's definitely better than GameCube. Okay, and as for PlayStation, dude, it's probably better than PlayStation also. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give the Sega Genesis an A, because I still continue. This is just like the NES. I continue to find games that are really good for the Sega Genesis, and as you continue to watch people play Genesis, like I watch Captain Algebra a lot, you find good games for it, and there's a lot. There's a lot of really good, decent games for it. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. I like the controller enough. The system always works. You don't really have problems with the Sega Genesis. I mean, I've never had any issues. I've never had to replace one. I've never had to work on one. I've never had to do anything. Just good old, like NES, cleaning your cartridge, sticking it in, it works. You know what I mean? Good stuff. Sometimes, like, I hate how the Sega Genesis controller is, like, really loud and it feels cheap. But, it works, you know, as long as you don't get pissed off and spike it or some shit. But, dude, yeah, the Ghostbusters game I just thought of. Home Alone was good on it. Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon's fucking super dope. Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy's really good. I'm just thinking of some games that I played through on the system that were really good. Some good shooters on the Sega Genesis as well. Some good stuff. So I would say overall, Sega Genesis, super fucking solid. Don't know if it's as good as PS2. That'd be really fucking close. But, man, as a retro guy, I almost have to say, man, it's fucking right there. Once again, man, PS2. PS2 doesn't work all the time, so it's kind of annoying. That's a really big downer for the console. That hurts. When you have something that works all the time, that fucking hurts. So, you know, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to play around with this real quick. I'm going to go like that. And that means that the Sony PlayStation's actually a little bit better than the GameCube. And you're going to say, yeah, it doesn't work, though. Yeah, but... You know what, though? It's got so many good fucking games. But I'm going to keep this the way it is because of how many good PS2 games there are and how crazy good they were. You know what I mean? And how crazy it was. It's really good. And the controller is a little bit better. PS2 controller is dope as fuck. But I'm going to keep it above the Sega Genesis, dude. Dude, by a little bit. But PlayStation, man, one of the best consoles for sure. Okay, then we make our way to the Sega Master System. We're just knocking out Sega consoles here. Sega Master System. Oh, man. Well, very big problem with it working, for sure. It got so bad with me that I went through one and found a whole bunch of problems trying to buy another one, that there's always something wrong with them. Always something wrong with them, dude. Controller's a fucking piece of garbage. Piece of shit. Great design, does not work well, though. The pause button's on the console, super fucking dumb. Man, the game's pretty decent. There's some fucking good games as we were dipping into it. It wasn't bad. Nothing wrong with that. It's the big problem with the fucking Master System, though, is it doesn't work. That's a huge problem. Big problem. I had to use the Sega Genesis converter to play my Sega Master System games. Super dumb. Super dumb. Like I said, controller works like shit. Not a whole lot to say about the Sega Master System other than I'm not going to give it an F because I've had a lot of fun with it. But I'm going to put it behind the N64 because it doesn't work. Listen, if it worked, it would be ahead of the fucking N64. But it doesn't want to work ever. It has problems all the time. Just a piece of shit, dude. The way they built that thing. That's why I'm sorry. These people that compare Sega Master System and NES, dude, don't even do that. Don't even do that. That's a disgrace. That's a fucking disgrace. I don't care if you grew up with it or not. That's a fucking disgrace because, dude, it doesn't fucking work, man. At least the NES works at all times. That Sega Genesis, or I'm sorry, Master System, you better know how to solder and shit, man. That thing's a fucking piece of garbage for real. And that controller, yeah, having to plug a Sega Genesis controller into the fucking Master System to get it working, what a piece of fuck. You have to use a different console's fucking controller to have fun with your console? Psh, get the fuck out of here with that. That's garbage. We're not going to talk about the Sega Saturn, guys, because I have not spent time with the Sega Saturn, and I don't even know a lot about it, so I can't even name you a whole bunch of games on the console. So it'd be very unfair for me to say I don't like it or something, even though I think I don't. But I think it would have a very similar Dreamcast type of thing with me, but I haven't spent time with it. I haven't done research. I'm not going to comment too much on it. The Super Nintendo. Well, I love the Super Nintendo for sure. Super badass. And this is going to be a lot like the Sega Genesis, which is why I understand why they were fucking waging war on each other. Well, so many good games on the Super Nintendo, obviously. I mean, you got Super Mario World. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island is a pile of shit, in my opinion, though. But, dude, Super freaking Punch-Out! Contra 3, Castlevania 4. I mean, super fucking good. Dude, the controller for the Super Nintendo, probably my favorite controller of all time. It's got the best controller. The Super Nintendo always works. Never had a Super Nintendo not work. It's amazing. Sound is definitely better than the Sega Genesis, in my opinion. Way better. Dude, Super G&G, awesome. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, that is. One of my favorite games. Fucking awesome. Just so many good games on Super Nintendo. Very similar to the Sega Genesis. It's another one that the more games I play, the more good things I find. Just overall, just awesome, great. Does not surprise me when it's somebody's favorite console of all time. That's completely acceptable in my opinion. Understand that fully. When Super Mario World's your favorite Mario, totally get it. Dude, Zelda Link to the Past, dope as hell. Dope as fuck. Just so many good games. I mean, Super Smash TV. Rather play Smash TV on this just because of the twin stick. It works great with the controller. So many good fucking games on the Super Nintendo, dude. Good stuff. A lot of good beat 'em ups. Not too shabby on the sports either. Has my favorite baseball game of all time, Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball. Favorite baseball game of all time. Just played NFL Quarterback Club on it. Super solid game. It's got the Maddens on it. I think they play good on it. I would assume they do. Madden 94 is on the console and stuff. That's one of my favorites. I'd rather play it on the Genesis, though. That's the way I grew up with it. Yeah, good stuff. Just good stuff all around. I'm actually going to put that right there. It's going to go in front of the Sega Genesis. I do like the Super Nintendo better than it because games-wise, I'm going to say it's stupid close to the amount of good games. Same. The thing is, though, the controller is better. I like the controller better, dude. The controller is literally one of my favorites. I'm not going to put it in front of the PlayStation 2, though. I'm not, because the PlayStation 2 has so many bangers on it, man. This is something, though, this A tier right here could change. That can change in the future the more I play games. The more I find things, the more I look into things, it could definitely change. But right now, I'm going to keep it like that. Then we make our way to the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, the regular Wii here. I almost went to the Wii U. The Wii. Huh. Okay, well, the Wii was not a really strong console for me. I wasn't that into it, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing of shovelware ever, even more than the NES, was on the Wii. Oh, man, would you want to fucking talk about gimmicky, shitty-ass games? Lots of fucking dog shit on the Wii. Lots of good stuff on the Wii, too, though. I like the good old Wii Sports. That was super fun when it came out. I was definitely one of those people that straight up like played with my mom and stuff. She loved the bowling. I could literally get my mom to play video games, which is so weird. I still remember her visiting my apartment, and I got the Wii for my son Peyton. He was real young. And I talked my mom into playing, and she's sitting there freaking playing Wii bowling. Awesome stuff. And the Wiimote worked extremely well. The console as a whole worked extremely well. The Wiimote, I didn't have a lot of issues with it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was cool, and it had a decent amount of games on it. I'll tell you this, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, dope as hell. Super, super dope. Punch-Out for the Wii, pretty cool. Not bad, dude. Not bad. I thought it was awesome. The Wario game for it was good. Both of them. I'm talking about the WarioWare game, though. I forget what it was called. Shake Up or something like that. That was really good. I had fun with it. I want to spend more time with it, though. I want to spend more time with the Wii at some point. Another thing Gaming Off the Grid pointed out about the Wii was playing stuff like the shooters on it, like the arcade shooters, like House of the Dead and stuff. Very good point that it's super fun to play with the guns and everything with that. So you could put the controller inside of the guns, and that was a lot of fun. That was really fun to do, and the controllers worked great for that. It did. They worked really good. So also you had a Donkey Kong on there. Returns. Donkey Kong Country Returns came back, which was, in my opinion, a comeback that was not talked about very much. But Donkey Kong Country Returns was dope as hell. So I thought that was super cool. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Wii at a C. Because I do think it's better than the Nintendo 64, because I think there was more good games. And I think it's better than the Master System because, well, the system worked really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put it at a solid C, because I don't think it's up to the GameCube or PS1 par. I don't think it's up there. So then we make our way to the Wii U. The Wii U was actually, and Retro Reminiscence was saying kind of the same thing, and I'm glad he thought the same thing. Okay, the thing is with the Wii U is it came out at a time when a lot of people didn't know about it. I know everybody knows about everything wasn't advertised very well, for sure. That was a huge problem with the Wii U. Nobody even knew what it was. They thought it was some type of add-on to the Wii. I get it. I did not think that. I knew that it was a different console. I followed it. And you could say that I stuck with Nintendo on this. And I had much love for the Wii U. I mean, Splatoon, this is where it originated from. Super Mario Maker originated from the Wii U. Super great games. I mean, Mario Maker's amazing. I mean, that's became a huge thing that people are streaming, that they play all the time, that they never get sick of. They make the different courses. And that all started on the Wii U, man. Hyrule Warriors. Everybody's freaking out about how great that game is on the Switch and everything. Well, listen. Started on the Wii U. How about Super Mario 3D World? Literally one of my favorite Mario games. I mean, you're talking literally probably my second favorite Mario game. I'd say my favorite Mario game of all time is Odyssey, and 3D World's fucking right there, man. I mean, that game is dope as hell. It's so good. If you have not played Super Mario 3D World, holy cow, go play it right now on the Switch. Comes with Bowser's Fury. Super awesome. I mean, what else, man? I mean, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That did not come out on the Switch, guys. That was from the Wii U. So, you really missed out. I know this is something that came out on the GameCube, but let me tell you, it was done so much better on the Wii U, and that was Wind Waker HD. Put your inventory on the gamepad, and it worked extremely well. Tons of fun with that game. Just good stuff on the Wii U, man. Wii U didn't have a shitload of games, but the thing is, they were all bangers, though. Even, you know what I had fun with, and this is going to sound crazy because I told you I wasn't really into it, but the Wii U Super Smash Brothers. That was the first one. You know what brought me to it was Mega Man was in it. And it was done incredibly well. They did such a good job with that game. I actually want to take a moment, and I want to stand up here real quick with my mic. And I'm actually going to sit here, and I'm going to look at a couple Wii U games so that I don't miss some of the stuff that I wanted to comment on. Dude, Mario Kart 8 I mean, how are we forgetting about that? Mario Kart 8 was fucking amazing. And a lot of people think, "Oh, it came from the Switch or whatever." No, that's a Wii U game, man. Those are Wii U fucking ports, dude. So there was just a lot of good stuff on that console, and it got really freaking overlooked, man. I'll even say, and this might sound kind of crazy, but even the Mario Party on that was really fun because it had like this Bowser mode, and it was like completely different and something different that they tried that had never been done before. So it was like really, really awesome. So, dude, the Wii U and the gamepad worked great. Never had problems with the console. I had a great time with it. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put the Wii U at. Oof. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at a B. I'm gonna put it in front of the GameCube. I'm gonna put it in front of the GameCube because it had so many great bangers on it, man. So many good videos or video games, but not as good as the PlayStation though. PlayStation had a ton of fucking good games, dude. Okay, we make our way to the Xbox 360. Okay, well, you're gonna say, well, you didn't comment on the PS3. Why you comment on 360? Because I had a 360. I know that the PS3 is pretty much the same thing, dude. I mean, they were so similar. But one thing I thought about the Xbox 360 is you're talking about one of the best controllers ever. I mean, Xbox 360 controller is ridiculous, and there's a reason why they're still using like that same molding to this day. You know, on the Xbox, the new Xbox, and the Xbox One. There's a reason why they just basically build on that mold because it's so good. This is when Call of Duty became huge. Multiplayer just became huge. Like online multiplayer, I would say I got into it hardcore with Madden, with baseball games, with Call of Duty. I mean, online gaming was going crazy. I played NHL online. Just all good stuff. I love the party chat. That was like the first console where I had a headset and I was talking to my friends while playing other games. One friend would be playing MLB, the other friend would be playing Madden, I'd be playing Call of Duty, whatever. We ran tournaments on it. It was awesome. I mean, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that's where it all started, man. Modern fucking Warfare. I mean, oh my goodness, dude. How many hours put into fucking Modern Warfare? Just ridiculous, dude. Dude, no, okay, I didn't play SOCOM on that. SOCOM would have actually been PS2. But, that's another game. I played PS2 online as well. So this is a tough one. This is a tough one, dude. This is a tough one. I'm going to go ahead because 360 had a lot of good story-driven games, too, like Fable, Fable 1, Fable 2, and Fable 3. Really, really good. Fable 1 was actually on the original Xbox, but, dude, Fable 2 and Fable 3, super dope games. Really, really, really good. Of course, Gears of War, that's where it came from. Really, really good stuff. Gears of War, dope as fuck. A lot of good stuff, man. I'm not even really into Halo, but, I mean, you could definitely mention it. You, like, have to. I'm going to go ahead with the 360, and I'm going to place it in front because of how many hours went into some of those multiplayer games. I mean, guys, that is a stupid-ass amount of hours. I mean, dudes, I had over a month's worth of days into just Call of Duty. Into just one of the Call of Duties. There was Call of Duty Black Ops. I mean, just so much stuff, guys. I mean, that was an awesome console, dude. And I'm not even, like, thinking of some of the games for it. I mean, no, Max Payne was PS2. So remember, I'm thinking off the cuff here. Let me tell you this, though. One of the best games fucking ever. So, obviously, you had Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto 5, which people are still playing Grand Theft Auto 5 to this day. That came from the 360 and PS3. Keep in mind, I did not play them on the PS3. But, dudes, Red Dead Redemption. I mean, holy fuck, dude. You're talking about one of my favorite games of all time. Fucking Red Dead Redemption. Amazing. Amazing stuff. So, yeah, I'm putting it there. I'm happy with it there. I even feel like it might beat PlayStation. But here's the thing, too. Very similar to PlayStation, the Red Ring of Death. The fucking Xbox, I went through 3 Xboxes, I think. Or no, two. Because you could get the Red Ring of Death fixed. But still, the Red Ring of Death, fucking complete dog shit. I mean, I can't believe a system didn't work. That sucked. But because of how good the games are, I think it's over the Wii U and over the GameCube. And like I told you guys, you could argue that the Xbox and the PS3 are kind of like the same thing. Like, they were so fucking similar. You know what I mean? That I just didn't have a PS3. That's the only reason I'm not doing that. Xbox One, I'm not going to really comment just because, I didn't really play it much. You know, my son had it. He played on it and stuff. I didn't really mess with it. And the original Xbox. So, the original Xbox is really similar to the PS2. So that's the ones that were battling at the time. Obviously, I think PS2 fucking crushed it. I didn't have an Xbox original. I got an Xbox original as I became a retro gamer. And I'm starting to play some of the games on it. Like, I can remember I played the Castlevania game on it. And it's good. The sports games are good. Excuse me. Xbox. This is a hard one to put up there. I haven't played it a whole lot, guys. But it does have some good games on it. I mean, I've been playing that Black Hawk Down game on it. I know it's got the original Halo on it. I know that's a really big deal on it. The controller, I liked it. It wasn't bad. The Duke controller's got something goofy about it that I just kind of like. Sports games were super good on it. One of the biggest games on that console was definitely NFL 2K5. That is known as like one of the best football games ever. Problem is, that was also on PS2, I believe. So this is a tough one for me because it's like right next to PS2. Because you could play a lot of those games I was talking about, like Max Payne and things like that. You could play them on Xbox. But because I have not played it very much, like bear with me here. It could do a lot of cool things though. You could put like entrance music on it. I remember you could put music on it. And you, like, say you had a wrestling game, you could put the entrance music on it. The 360 could do that as well, and that was kind of cool. And it did work. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it right here. It's not in front of the N64 because the N64, to be honest, I just played more. But I'm gonna put it in front of the Master System because it's not as big of a piece of shit as the Master System is. Master System is just a complete piece of junk. So that's about it, though, guys. I'm comfortable with that. That's what my tier list is so far. This thing can change at any moment. Where are we at? I've talked for 48 minutes. But yeah, that's pretty solid there, I would say. I would say that's where I'm at with everything. And that's probably how I rank the consoles, too. If you go down and then from left to right. So, guys, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if that's good or bad, what you would change. I know I skipped over a lot of stuff here, but I was only going with things that I actually knew about. Xbox is really actually reaching. I probably shouldn't have even had that on the list yet until I play more of those games. But anyways, guys, take care, and let me know what you think in the comments.